Merry Christmas, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about Palmstreet auctions when it regards to reptiles in general. We'll also be talking a brief little bit about the other auction sites, some of which you obviously know about given what we do all the time on our channel, and a couple other areas where you can do auctions or sales that you probably don't know about and maybe you probably shouldn't. Now I am filming this little bit the day before the video comes out in a Santa outfit because we didn't care too much for the way the old intro was, so we're going to go ahead and start talking about the new kid on the block right now, starting with Palmstreet auctions. Starting off with the new kid on the block, Palmstreet. Palmstreet is an app. You do it on your phone, and it's a live streamed auction. As you can see here, Palmstreet is, I'd say, mostly like plants and such like that. Sometimes some like crafts, things like that. But then we start to get to other things that have recently been added, like reptiles. That's Oprah Winfrey. What? Right now they're just selling these, but you can actually doing a live stream with your audience in front of you. Everything's happening in real time, but you can search things like reptiles. I've tried to search what else, some other animals they meant. You can see some of this here, like parrot and birds. Ball python is what we'll look at today. Now there are no lives at this moment, but you can kind of click on these things and you see like almost like this is not live here, but this is just their store page that they've kind of put on there. Best Dressed Balls has one on Christmas Day. Looks like they're going to be 30 ball pythons. That'll be a lot of fun. Christmas Day at 8 o'clock my time here in Central, and the day after Christmas, ball python's 9. You can see here like geckos. There's a lot of crested geckos on here too. All sorts of different things that you can do. But as you're going, you're having a live audience. You're having a conversation with people. You can add things on the fly. You can change the price on things, have different starting prices. There's a whole bunch that you can do on this site, which is really cool and unique. I've had a lot of fun interacting with these, and later on here in the video, I'll show you the animal I got from the Palmstreet auction. In the auctions themselves, the seller can choose to do giveaways even too. So you can have a giveaway snake and you can have certain parameters set, like has to watch for 5 minutes, has to watch for 10 minutes, needs to share the video so many times, things like that. Sometimes it needs to purchase to enter because quite frankly, there's some that might be free shipping, right? Why would you give free shipping to someone that's just been watching and hasn't purchased anything? That'd be kind of silly, right? Sometimes just showing up gets you into a free giveaway. You can chat obviously with pretty much everybody. There's a whole bunch of people that are chatting live at that moment. I see Best Dressed Balls in there quite a bit. Troy from Best Dressed Balls is popping into pretty much all of the live auctions just to kind of support and be there and talk to people and whatnot, which is really cool to see because maybe I'm spoiling whether I like this or not by saying I like it. I've had a lot of fun so far and haven't had any negatives that I can think of. Obviously from a buyer standpoint, you want to set it to a certain amount, whatever amount you're comfortable with, and you need to be prepared to let animals just not sell. I have seen monsoons sell on this site and I've seen other animals not sell. It kind of depends on your audience that's there at that moment because there's people in different levels of this, right? There's quite a few people that kind of want to be in the beginner level. The higher end stuff though, they aspire to be in there, but a lot of people, they may not have thousands of dollars. And it does make sense, especially at first, that somebody is going to want to make sure they establish themselves and make sure they can do this before they start throwing pretty big money at things. You know, anytime someone spends over 500 bucks, that's a decently good purchase, you know? And obviously in ball pythons, we look at snakes that are $5,000, $10,000 sometimes, and it's like crazy, right? But in general, most of your people aren't going to be doing that. And I think you need to be realistic if you're going to sell on the site, which you do need to apply for. And I've heard things that it's kind of like a trial run right now. I don't know the process for that because I haven't decided whether I'm going to right now. I think I'd like to because we do the live streams and I have a lot of fun doing those, but I can't speak from a seller's point of view on this site. But as far as a buyer goes, the experience has been top tier. It's been so much fun just kind of being in there and seeing how it works. So just to kind of show, obviously this is a plant, but I do want to show some of the stuff on here. It kind of awaits the next item. You can see down there, it shows you the shipping right down here, shipping policies, all sorts of stuff, sales taxes, everything like that, exchanges, if there is returns on anything. Up in the notes right there, which you can shrink right there like that, it shows you a little bit of what's important for this specific buyer. So all sales final, items will be combined, free heat and insulation included, $5 bid increments, and FedEx hiccup being recommended, all that sort of stuff, right? Up here is the giveaway. So you can see right here what this one is. So first, your task is to follow the seller and then watch for 10 minutes. You can see it's even counting up right now. However, this next giveaway is in 42 seconds. You can share it right here with all these different ways right there. You can apparently take a photo. I didn't know that they would do that. That's cool. But right there, you can see the giveaway. It kind of goes there and says I did not win it, but then again, I didn't try to. Here, you can click and update your payment info and shipping information. You can see if you have a credit or any coupons available, because yes, coupons are a thing on this site. And then down here, this is very important. important. You can see all the listings that are going to be here and what has already sold. And you can see what other giveaways are happening. All the giveaways in this particular one are done. And down here, you just have other settings and whatnot. Now, when you're bidding down here, it's something as simple as either clicking or swiping. So in $5 increments, you can just swipe to the right and it will just bid an extra $5. I really like this, but if you click on it, you can actually type something that you want. Maybe a snake is at 250 and you just want to bid 300. You can do that too. You can just type in what you'd like to bid and it will jump up to that price. Otherwise, you just kind of swipe and then it will bid in that regard. And if you want to leave the auction, you can just click on the little X up here in the right hand corner. And then next to that kind of shows you how many people are currently watching. Right there in the middle, it says comment. You can make a comment, kind of have a chat with everybody. So it's very cool in that you are able to have like a social experience while you're doing this too. It's more like a real auction in many ways. It's pretty cool because you're there. The other thing that I want to mention really quick is that Palmstreet makes it so that you have to link a card to join lives. I had to anyways. So when you join up, you need to link like a bank card or something to it. So when you bid, as soon as you win the auction, you are charged everything, whether the shipping and whatnot, everything's charged to you right then and there. I immediately was able to see my charge for my purchase that I made right away. So I didn't really have to do anything else. As a seller, that's pretty nice because you don't have to worry about people flaking out on the auction, winning the auction, thinking, oh my God, that's so cool. I won this. Now I'm going to have a sale here. And then they just ghost you, right? Now on Morphmarket, they get banned. If they do that enough, they get banned from the auctions at the very least. But here, they're going to pay for it. And I have seen one payment type fail and it informed them immediately. So you could probably put it right up for auction right then and there again. And I've only ever seen that will happen once. I think it has a lot of potential to grow as something we can do in this community. Then of course there's messages and everything here. A lot of times you get things in here for discounted snakes, things like that. Here's one I watched the Jersey Guy balls a while back. There's promotions on a site. So you can actually, again, sell things. It's not just auctions. Up to 15% off here. So I can get a Hurricane Clown Boy. It looks like it caps out at $5 on this one, but you can kind of set your own coupons and whatnot. So I can get it a little bit cheaper plus the $60 shipping. So I can just immediately just buy this now. Of course, you can see your messages and whatnot here too. Right now I only have one, me exchanging a message with Aura Reptiles, which is who I got my snake from. So without further ado, let's show you that animal right now. And that would be this girl here. And she's very rigid right now. She might take a go at me, but she is a red gene pied and she is 100% het lavender albino. And I only have one project really to put into the lavender albino, or dreamsicles, I should say, and I really like it. So I figured kind of like, why not get another? She's really pretty, very beautiful. Nice size to her too already. I really like the sides and everything like that. I'm not as familiar with red gene. Don't confuse yourself that red gene is red head. They're not the same, but I wanted to add a little bit more into that project. I don't have very much at all. So it kind of makes no sense to me that I have this genetic running around and nothing to really do with it, you know, other than one pairing a year. So I figured I'd just get one more thing to oomph up the dreamsicle project that I am running. It's definitely not going to be my mainstay or anything like that, but I do like it quite a bit, and makes sense to kind of just get one more thing. But yeah, this is what I got from Palmstreet, and it was a great experience. Aura Reptiles, can't recommend them enough. I appreciate it. A really fun live auction to watch too. That's the other thing you got to realize as you're watching this, is that they're entertaining. I definitely recommend Palmstreet. Hopefully it sticks around and grows. I can definitely see myself doing something like this possibly in the future. Also want to do a quick shout out to Carter's Coils. One day at a show said, hey, have you heard about this? And started talking to me about Palmstreet. I didn't know anything about that until he said something, and then I kind of went down that rabbit hole. So a lot of fun, but always bid with responsibility. It can be addicting. So if that's you, just, you know, watch yourself. Then, of course, is the tried and true Morphmarket auctions. We talk about them all the time, and there's a reason for that. It's because there's so many of them. It is the place for auctions. Whether you're looking for ball pythons, you're looking for reptiles, there are lots of animals for auction. And yes, it is dominated by ball pythons, and then probably next up would be crested geckos and whatnot. But then there's hog noses, and then I see a lot of other things like tortoises and bearded dragons, things like that. All sorts of different animals can be on the auctions page. But if you watch this channel, you should know how a Morphmarket auction works. You look at the auction page. Here's one with 3 minutes left. You take a bid on it of say $700. Well, if I do that, that price shoots straight up to $700. So it's more like an actual auction, but digital. Once you stand up and bid, that's what it is. So you could just nickel and dime it up there if you want. You could do $660, and it's kind of a tactic too. One that annoys the heck out of me sometimes, where I'll bid something and I'll come out there and do it in $50 increments to show that I'm serious. Somebody waits till 1 minute left and then bids $5 more. But it's a tactic. It is, one that draws it out, and maybe some people just don't have the time or the patience and they lose out on the animal. Each time you bid with under 5 minutes left, it resets it to 5 minutes. But the system does work. There are people who I have heard say that they would like it modified or changed, and that could possibly happen in the future, but it does work. One thing I personally would like to see is either a timer where maybe after a certain amount of time in overtime that maybe the bids become increments of 25 or something like that. Or maybe as the price goes up, if it goes past 500, suddenly it's $25 increments. If it goes past 1,000, maybe it's $50 increments. Things like that. I don't know for sure if that's necessary, but I think it would be something that would shake things up in terms of the serious buyers and stop an auction from taking so darn long for people who just want to nickel and dime it. And in a way, it would definitely benefit the buyers because it would weed out people who aren't quite as serious possibly as a buyer. That's just a thought of my own. You can see one here ending right now. Looks like nobody else is going to bid it up. Ended. So this one ended at $6.55. Nobody else was willing to fight the person for it. You can see it has indeed ended. At one point it won't say anything about that. It'll just say on hold. Very soon actually it'll kind of switch to that. So obviously this is something that we know very well here. We cover the Morphmarket auctions 2 times a week. It's something we have a lot of fun covering, and that's not changing anytime soon. Before Morphmarket became one of the bigger auction type sites, the site that I became most familiar with was BSR Auctions, which is mostly I think run by the Miami Reptile company, but I do believe sometimes they do have animals from other breeders on there as well. And it's a lot of different reptiles, quite frankly, as well, coupled with some buy it now type listings as well. As you can see here, this one is from J&C Hog Noses. Now how these auctions work is a bit different than Morphmarkets. If I were to bid $200, the price would not shoot up directly to $200 like it does on Morphmarket. Instead, it would jump to $125. If someone else bids $175, they would immediately become outbid, and the new price would be $180. So on this site, you can put your maximum bid and forget it. However, doing that might not be as tactful as you think, because someone might just keep bidding it up $5 just to see how much will drop off or whatnot. There is an overtime, so if in the last 5 minutes you bid, it adds another 5 minutes. But there is a thing to be said about maybe just testing to see if someone's paying attention on the other end. Maybe just putting a quick auction bid on something as a placeholder to remind you when something is ending, and then coming and trying to bid at the last bit to outbid someone else might be a valid strategy. So a different kind of system, having a set it and forget it bidding system is kind of nice that you can immediately go to an amount that you know you're comfortable with, but there are pros and cons, as I mentioned, with every single type of bidding system in terms of how you need to operate to get the best deal for yourself. As I mentioned, there are a vast amount of animals on this site, but it doesn't even come close to the ones that you get on Morphmarket, where there are a whole bunch. However, I have purchased animals from this site in the past. In fact, one of my hog noses that I currently have here is from there. So definitely give it a shot and take a look at it. And then finally, another auction site, so to speak, you can somehow auction animals on is Facebook. Now, I say somehow, and I'm speaking a little apprehensively because Facebook bans live animal sales. If you go on there in ignorance and accidentally say, hey, I would like to sell this for $100, you are going to Facebook jail, or being zucked, as they like to say. If you have a Facebook group, one of the best ways to get it banned is to encourage or allow sales of any sort. Even saying the word sale will get you banned. Unfortunately, it's actually so bad it's unfair almost. You could be like, hey, I am parting with this animal, message me if you would like to buy it, or I have this animal for sale, message me privately if you'd like to buy it. Even that is a big no-no. Messaging within the group about sales even is a big no-no. If you have the big group chats that they just created, they're even in there monitoring it. So don't do it. Now, talking on the side in a private PM, I don't think there's any problem with that. And the reason I say the auctions are somehow sometimes still happening here is because you can find sites on here with posts not that long ago where they just show a picture of a snake and then just say, from this time to this time, just start bidding away. And people will post their bids in the comments, and somehow they don't get banned. But in general, I don't recommend it. Number one, because it's technically not allowed, so it will get you banned. And number two, because there are a lot of scams out there. If you get scammed that way and send your money to somebody and you choose to hit the send button, you are on your own. You are only protected if you are hacked or someone steals your credit card, things like that. Now, if someone messages your page and say, I'd be interested in talking to you about buying things, and you set it up on that terms, you just kind of go through there. Or if you go to a person's website and they they kind of subtly hint that this animal's for sale, say, hey, this animal is available for discussion. That's sometimes how you'll see it, right? Because they can't use the word buy. That's a different story, but you should be very careful because sometimes people will pose as other people. They make fake pages. So you should be very, very careful, and you should establish a different means of communication. Do a lot of homework and make sure that you are very protected. Maybe doing a local meetup, but again, protect yourself there too, because we don't live in the most perfect of worlds, sadly. But in general, I don't recommend it. So we're gonna go ahead and kick it back to my host. Chill out, buddy. Where are you going? No, stay there. No. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked this video, you can actually check out our full video we did on the Morphmarket auctions right here, and many of our other Morphmarket auction videos we have done right here.